the other economic issue with peak oil that I see is that it will take us a very long time to come up with practical solutions that actually work. I agree there is a number of technologies around that can help. There is inventions coming on all the time that will help in terms of fuel efficiency, solar panels, solar water heating is improving all the time, and all of these things will help. But the problem I see is that it's taken us about 100 years to come up with all this stuff around the place that is dependent on oil. We have built millions of petrol stations, millions and millions of cars. We have built oil tankers, refineries, trillions of dollars of investment into what we've got now that all is dependent on oil. It will take us, by very optimistic estimates, at least 10 to 20 years to actually replace that with something else, even if we would know what it is that we have to replace it with. And the thing here, you mentioned the media earlier on. The media are not reporting this problem very much, and that might change in the very near future because oil prices will keep rising. And that will hopefully put some pressure onto the political arena to work in this area, because we have to start early. If we leave it until very late to do something about it, we will simply be out of time and out of oil. Because to replace all these things, we need oil.
Yeah. But one of the issues with electric vehicles is the storage of the energy.
Yes.
We've got no problem with electric motors.
No.
We've got huge amounts of electricity options in terms of taking the energy out of your plug in the wall at home. But the problem is storing that energy to give us enough distance. Do you see fusion and some of the other alternatives as being an option?
Fusion
merely generates more electricity. Yes, as you said, the storage is the main thing.
Yes, but if you were able to have a fusion unit within a vehicle, is that something that you generate sufficient electricity from?
I think that's 100 years out.
Is it? Okay, it's that far away.
Yeah, I mean,
Pie in the sky at the moment.
fusion technology hasn't gotten off the ground.
Okay.
Even large-scale fusion plants for generating electricity are thought to be at least 50 years out. Okay. And the problem I see with this is that you are really basing people's survival on science fiction. It's a little bit like, yes, in a few years' time, Scotty will beam us all up and get us out of this mess that we've gotten ourselves into.
Well, it's interesting. I did speak to a professor over in Canberra, and they had developed the technology of actually moving an atom from point A to point B. But the other issue is, if you can't see an atom, how do you know you've moved it? We'll take this phone call anyway. Good evening.
Good evening. Do you think with an electric car going over the Takaka Hill, it would be difficult with big hills like that if we had electric cars?
Well, one of the arguments there is that you're using the energy going up the hill, and the momentum going down the hill could maybe put some charge back into the batteries.
Oh, you could just coast down the hill, couldn't you?
Yes, well, instead of braking, you're using that energy from your braking to recharge.
Oh, well, that's good. Thank you very much.
Well, that's just an idea anyway. I'm not saying that's the answer, but
a good one.
That would be one possibility, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. Thank you.
Alrighty.
That's how the hybrid car works, of
Yes.
course.
Yes.
Puts the energy back into the batteries. Yes. The problem is that the energy storage, the physics of energy storage is well understood. And nothing comes within a bull's roar of a tank full of petrol or diesel. That's the problem in terms of energy storage.
That's
we won't talk about nuclear, though.
No.
Well, you can talk about nuclear, but uranium is in the same position as oil. There's a limited supply of uranium.
Yeah, but if we take something like a nuclear-powered submarine, day one from brand new, it fills up with a tank full of gas, which lasts basically just about a lifetime of the actual submarine.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
Now, if you had a motor vehicle which had a sealed-up unit and that had a nuclear generator in it, and you've got enough energy there to last for the entire life of the car. I mean, you could argue that petrol's dangerous if it blows up, can't you?
Oh, yes. I mean, petrol's certainly dangerous stuff. The problem with that, of course, is that when the car's come to the end of its useful life, you're left with a highly radioactive waste product that you've got to get rid of or store somewhere. which is.
But we've got
big
the same problem
with
these days.
Nuclear power stations.
We've got the same problem.
They're just storing it temporarily. Still, there's no permanent storage yet for.
Well, one of the issues is you put it all in a rocket and you send it towards the sun, because that's just a big nuclear explosion anyway.
Well, you do need fuel for that rocket, and at the moment that's made out of oil.
Yeah. Well, we're back to that. Well, hold on.
Hold on. We go around in circles all the time.
I thought the rockets ran on a mixture of hydrogen and oxygen.
Yes, the hydrogen is made out of oil and gas, mostly.
But I thought that was
gas.
generated from electricity using the what do they call the process?
Hydrolysis.
Yes.
Yeah, only a small percentage of the hydrogen that's used is made that way. Most of it comes out of natural gas. Okay. Natural gas, of course, is CH4. There's 4 atoms of hydrogen in there.
Okay, so that's
but it's still natural gas.
Okay, so what do you guys see as the kind of solution to all this?
We simply have to become less dependent on oil.
But we're still going to run out.
Yes, but the more we are prepared, the more we change our infrastructure to cater for that, the easier it will be.
But all we do is delay the inevitable, surely.
Well, we are not proposing that we don't do anything about it. We are asking basically politicians and business people to make preparations for it, to actually develop and put the infrastructure into place that we need to be able to cope with this.
All right, gentlemen, we've run out of time, unfortunately. Thank you so much for both coming in, and we'd love to raise this issue again too. That's issues for this week. Got a little funny just before we go. In the meantime, see it. No, there's a holiday